Hey everyone watching, we're just giving folks a few more minutes to log in and we will start and take your questions shortly. Apologies for the noise in my background, you guys hear. I am actively watching the coronavirus briefing happening right now.
Good evening. Is anyone on the line?
Yes, we're on the line. Please hang on for a moment. We're just giving folks a log in. Thanks. Everyone, like I said, we're just giving a few more minutes for folks to log on. And we'll get started. I'm asking everyone that's joining, please do not activate your camera. We want to make sure everyone is able to see us, the DC Liquid Planning team. I appreciate you for trying to be part of the conversation, but for right now, with the amount of people joining, it'd be better if we could just keep the visuals to a minimum to just the core Black Pride team. Thank you. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box on Zoom, or if you're on Facebook, please post your questions there. We are monitoring both platforms. We're going to be taking questions from both platforms. For the sake of noise and background noise, we'll be keeping everyone muted. So please submit your questions through Facebook or through the Zoom chat. Thanks. We're starting in a few minutes. People are just, thank you. Nope, not a problem. Not a problem. Thought it was important. Absolutely. Please start asking your questions. We will answer them as they come in. Yes. Thank you all for your patience. All right, we actually have a good amount of individuals on, so I would like to start off by welcoming everyone and thanking you all for joining us this evening. Thank you all for joining us this evening. You know, as you all are aware, the decision to cancel DC Black Pride this year has happened. And we thought it was important to be transparent with the community and give you guys an opportunity to ask us questions and really let you know what led us to that decision. I know social media has been a buzz, and it's been a lot of supportive information, which we're thankful of. And we are very happy and thankful that the community understands why we made the decision. We just wanted to, again, you know, be transparent and let you meet the team and understand, you know, what led us to this decision. And I'll just very brief. Well, before I start, let me allow the team. You know, I was referenced to DC Black Pride team, right? If you ever seen me speaking or ever seen me writing, I always talk about, you know, the team and I. And, you know, everyone knows Earl's affiliated with the DC Black Pride. Everyone knows I'm affiliated with Black Pride, but they don't know who this team is. These individuals that have been invited and are unmuted for the call right now are our core team. So, team, if you don't mind, just taking a moment to introduce yourselves to our community.
I'll go first. I'm Janice Chambers. I'm the Director of Volunteers in Vending, and I've been with DC Black Pride since 2012.
As a director?
As a director.
And hello, I'm T. Hawkins, and I am the Director of Administration, and I've been working with the CBE a long time, long time, but my role is a lot of behind the scenes with communications, logistic things that you don't really see but manifest themselves into be great things.
Hi, I'm Shannon Garcon, and I've been with the team since 2014, 15, and I do technology consultant, and logistics.
And I'm Earl Folks. I am the president and CEO of the Center for Black Equity. The Center for Black Equity has DC Black Pride as a program of the Center for Black Equity. I've been involved in DC Black Pride since 1996.
Thank you. And my name is Kenya Hutton. I'm the current director of DC Black Pride. I've been with Black Pride for about 8 or 9 years. And, you know, this has become, you know, part of my day-to-day work. So this is a team that helps us going. So I'll go right in. I see the questions coming. Keep them coming. We will continue answering them as they come in. But what led us to this decision? As you all are aware, we are in the middle of a pandemic, right? There's a virus that is highly contagious, highly transmittable, going around the world right now. And the United States has been significantly hit. So watching the numbers rise and paying attention to our local health officials and some meetings we've been having, we realized that gathering all of the thousands of people that come to DC Black Pride every year would be a public health risk. Because, even if, right now we're under a stay-at-home order until April 24th, and even if that is lifted, that means, the community would have a month to completely rid themselves of this virus, and as well as individuals that are not working right now. A lot of people aren't working right now and experiencing some economic hardship. In our opinion, collectively, we decided it would be unfair and quite selfish of us as an entity to ask the community to, after not working for 2, 3 months or however long this lasts, to come to a big party in DC when, we know that DC is one of the more expensive prides that happen, Black prides that happens nationwide. So basically, like I said, this decision came out of public health, lens. We knew that as a public, as an organization, as leaders in the community, we wanted to make the right decision and make the decision that, though it was sad, we all have been saddened, and it was a hard decision. We thought it was in the best interest of the community to cancel Black Pride. And as well as the economic, understanding the economic hardships that many of us are experiencing across the country, it was the best decision to do, and to do in the moment. We didn't want to wait until, May 15th to make the decision, because that'd be very unfair. We wanted to make sure we made the decision early so individuals could make adjustments if they had plans, and give you guys an opportunity to speak with us, to converse with us on what options may be. I know there's been a lot of questions, and one of the questions, I'll jump right in. Or C, do you want to read out the question and I answer them? How do you want to do this? You're muted, C. Here, I got you.
Great.
Okay, there you go.
The first question is from Zakira, I think. I want to make sure, sorry if I mispronounced it. So I represent the Unleash DC team and was wondering why we canceled Pride versus postponing at a later date, in parentheses, Labor Day.
Okay, for a number of reasons. We didn't want to keep on baiting you with dates. At this point, we don't know how far this virus is going to go. As you may have seen yesterday, Virginia extended all the way to June 10th. And that's like a wishful ending. So it would be kind of unfair if we say, oh, put it off to this time, put it to that time, and then keep on putting it off. When this is an epidemic that we really don't know when it's going to be safe. The matter is about safety. That's why we decided to cancel, per se. And we also, we negotiated with the hotels. I've been having steady meetings with every pride in DC, because we have a lot of different prides in DC. I've been making sure that I have been in conversation with these folks, and there was really no other time, no other free weekend. 4th of July weekend is a weekend that has come up as a possible rescheduled date, but then that would be unfair to LA Black Pride and Chicago Black Pride. Excuse me, that happens that weekend. We tried not to have competing weekends, and we know the impact of our pride. And if we went ahead and threw a pride, we would be taken away from the celebration in those areas. So again, being fair and being nice, we didn't want to conflict with any other pride. The next available date was Halloween weekend. And we understand that individuals have Halloween events in their town. That's number one. Number two, it's again, well, let me back up. Number one was the timing, and number two, again, it's conflicting with much other events. Not only just Halloween in individual towns, but Baltimore has the Pride in October, as well as some other prides have there in October as well. And when we talked with our hotel, we weren't able to get a rate equal to what we had for everyone in May. So that's what we decided to just take it off the table for this year and replan and restructure and come back next year. Now, what does that mean about events? We are definitely planning to have some virtual events throughout the course of the year while these group restrictions are in place. We are developing them as we go along, right? Because no one has a blueprint for how to handle things in this kind of situation. It's not just one thing, it's many different moving parts. So we want to definitely have some virtual things for individuals. We also, when it's safe, right? And only when it's safe, and we will try to have some smaller events for our local communities. And, I was having a conversation with someone earlier today, and if I don't feel safe, I wouldn't feel comfortable asking you guys to do something that we don't feel safe. And as a community and as leaders of our community, we have to think about that. So that's why there has not been a date of postponement or any other dates or activities right now, because again, there's no blueprint for what we should do. So we're figuring it out as we go along. We definitely want to continue to have something, but the main gathering that happens during that weekend is what we had to put a stop to. We had to cancel that.
Can I say
something?
The other thing is that for us, it's not just throwing one event one night and getting a space. We have to have spaces for our award ceremony. We have to have a space for our opening reception. We have to have our space for a ball that we do. We have to have space for over 20 meeting room and town halls. It's not just getting hotel rooms, it's having enough space that we can actually do Pride. And the other thing is that we can't really start raising money to put on Pride. Pride costs 6 figures. And we can't get sponsorship until after we know when the crisis is over. And at this point, businesses are not willing to talk about sponsorship at all. And many have told us that don't come to us until next year because they don't have any money.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If anyone has ever been to DC Black Pride events, all of our events are free, and putting it off right now with this level of uncertainty is not going to allow us to have the big free celebrations that we all have. So again, that's what I was just saying. Let's just cancel Black Pride for this year and revisit it as we move forward. C, do we have any other questions?
We do, Kenya. We have a couple.
Janice had something she wanted to add.
Oh, okay, Janice.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jean. Oh, wait, no. Go ahead. Oh, no. Go ahead, Jean.
Am I muted?
Yes.
Okay. My input on that is simply the reason why Black Pride started in the beginning. It was because we were all hit by the HIV pandemic. And it will be selfish for us to think that, okay, coronavirus is out. They're going to say it's going to be over by June 1st or May. And we go out and party and we end up infecting people because we just want to come out and party. That's not why DC Black Pride started. It was to protect ourselves and to make sure that we can take care of ourselves so that we can live on and be glorious in our rainbow flags and do whatever it is that we want to do, longevity. If we come out now and just say, okay, they say that it's over and we do this, we're going to keep the virus spreading. So I think we did make the right decision by postponing it till 2021.
Thank you. And just a fun fact, Janice was actually at the very first Black Pride. Has been coming to Black Pride every year since the first one. So she's speaking from a level of authority about knowledge that some of us don't have. I wasn't here for the first one. C, what's the next question you have?
So Paul has a question that he emailed us earlier, and we kind of touched on it. Are there plans or desires for any remote activities? If so, how can people support the creation of those? He was hoping that DC Black Pride could enable people to share memories of Black gay spaces in DC that no longer exist due to gentrification. So basically is how do we honor those spaces with the events that were canceled and do it in a virtual way? Paul, if you could, I want to make sure I didn't mix up your words, if you can see it, hear us.
Very good question. And yes, we are working on creating some virtual things. One of the things that each of you that is on our mailing list and on our social media will see or receive in the coming days, maybe a week or two, is a survey, because we don't want to do this again. There's no blueprint. We don't know how to react to this right now, so we want to definitely get the engagement of the community and feedback from the community. So we're going to be sending out a survey to everyone for suggestions on what you would like us to do. We have a couple of events in mind that we'd like to do, but we want to get the feedback from the community as well. A lot of our workshops can be automatically done online. So that's definitely something we're going to move to an online platform, for those that are applicable. For the other ones, we'll see what we can do, but it definitely is something, and that's exactly how you guys can support, is by giving us your feedback when we send the survey. Just be as frank and unapologetic as possible. And I would definitely love to have a conversation with you, Paul, offline about the spaces and gentrification thing, because it is something we've talked about internally and what that could look like. So thank you for that suggestion. It's definitely something we can loop around and talk about later. Next question.
Next question is from my good friend Rashid. He said he's, in a nutshell, the authors are interested in recreating the writers workshop, and if he's willing to do that, and can he count on our support in promoting these author events?
Rashad, hit me up. That is a great idea about doing a virtual writers forum or writers workshop. Again, this is why we put this out, right? Is to have this conversation. So I'm getting a lot of text at the same time. A lot of conversation around what we can do. That's a great suggestion. I would love to sit down and Rashid. A lot of conversation with you on what the logistics of this could look like. Thank you for that suggestion. We're definitely going to take note to it and circle back to what it can do. C.
Yes.
Next question.
Sorry, I missed Dalen's question, and I read it. As we now know, Capitol Pride has only been postponed. If they do have a Pride, will DC Black Pride participate? Also, would a smaller Pride festival or something be fair to have this year? Maybe not as big, kind of like Chicago has market days.
Yes, their event has been postponed as of right now. So I can't speak to what our involvement would be with Capitol Pride for that, or any other kind of marketing or marketplace or anything like that. But it is a developing story. I hate saying developing story, but it is a developing story. And as things happen, all things are considered at this point. Nothing is off the table. Whatever we can do to support our community, because we understand what it's like. I've seen comments where people talk about DC Black Pride was like a good Black family reunion. There's just so many things. We have individuals that are in spaces where they don't really see much Black gay life, so they look forward to this. So we understand that, and whatever we can do, we will. But I can't say yes or no, because those things that you're mentioning haven't been brought to the table yet. They're still developing. A lot of this is pretty new to us. We just released our statement on Sunday. Capitol Pride released their statement yesterday. So, I am in constant, almost daily at this point, communication with all the other Pride leaders in DC to figure out what we can do to bring together a suitable. And I'm going to say suitable because I don't want to do something just for the sake of checking a box to say we did it, right? If we do something, we want to make sure it's worthwhile to the community. So once we get there, we would definitely share the information with you. Thanks.
We had a follow-up question that you kind of answered. Just wanted to know about, have we been in contact with Capitol Pride, which we have. And it takes a little further to ask, have we thought about more of a holistic Pride where we can leverage some of their sponsorship, hotel space, etc.? So basically combining all of our resources together.
Again, all things are on the table. It's really hard. I can't say yes or no to that because they are pretty much in the same space we are in trying to find a date. I am open to communicating, and I have been openly communicating with every other Pride, from Youth Pride, Trans Pride, API Pride, Leather Pride, every Pride. I've had a call with at least once a week. So as we get further down the year and things develop, if it's something that's feasible for us to partner with and do like something all together, yes. I won't say we won't, but it's a developing story at this point. Next question. Any other questions? That was the last question?
The next question is, how can, Dalen again, how can we as a community do, what can we do as a community do to support DC Black Pride post-pandemic to help drive awareness of DC Black Pride?
Oh, Dalen. What can you do to, I mean, Dalen, volunteer. We always ask for volunteers in supporting of our events, not just financial, sometimes we need bodies. When we do Black Pride and we do it the way we like to do it, it requires almost 100 different volunteers to make that whole operation, that whole weekend go as smoothly as everyone does. So how can you support us post-pandemic is come and volunteer some of your time with us. When we have forums like this, or we have, come and lend your voice, lend your opinion, but when we are together, letting people know, once we develop, some activities, sharing it within your networks, encouraging your friends to come and support some of the activities that we're doing. That's the easiest, best, and fastest way to support the mission of DC Black Pride post-pandemic. Next question.
Kenya, that was the last question. I'm looking on Facebook, and Chris Smith asked, next year, do we celebrate the 31st anniversary or will we celebrate the 30th?
We're laughing because we've been talking about that. We will
30th.
Celebrate this
30th
30th anniversary. Since we didn't get to celebrate this year, we are going to still celebrate the 30th next year in true Black Pride fashion. It will be the 30th, yes. And we just laugh because that's something we've all been talking about. Is it the 30th or the 31st? It'll be the 30th anniversary. Next question.
Let's see, Paul had a good question. I assume people will still meet despite mandates. Will DC Black Pride encourage people not to meet? Generally curious how the organization respond. I'm guessing the question is, we canceled Pride. What will we do to encourage people not to gather during what would have been the Pride time? Paul, is that right?
We encourage everyone to follow the federal and local government guidelines. If they and common sense, right? At this point, we're not encouraging anyone to gather because of the health risk, and we will continue encouraging individuals not to gather. Not to gather right now. As things unfold, if we see, if it gets to a point where we feel safe, it's safe to gather, then, by all means. But as of right now, all I can say is we won't be supporting any large gatherings right now. And, again, another developing story. If we see how this unfolds and it unfolds to an unsafe way, or it looks like it's, like we're going to be running into May, then we would definitely continue supporting not gathering. Safety is my main concern. My background is in public health. Safety is my main concern. That's the first thing that I always look for, is making sure we are safe in whatever we're doing. So I hope that answers your question. Next question.
It looks like there's not a question. Cornelius said, let us know if the Equality Chamber can support. Please reach out.
Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate that. Thank you.
And Kenya, we have a question on Facebook. I'm going between the two. It looks like Charmaine, are we looking to possibly have any events in the future if it's not by the time Pride usually happens, or is this canceled indefinitely? And we're kind of going back, but I think Charlene joined us late. So if you could just mention that again.
I'll reiterate that. Yeah, so we are canceling the main gathering, and what we're going to be doing is we're working with the community to create some online virtual engagements, some virtual activities, town halls, workshops, sessions, etc. And once it's safe, we will, have some gatherings. If the folks have been watching, we've been having happy hours once a month for the past few months. So we'll still do something we can gather and celebrate each other as a community. So yes, but once it's safe, that's what we're gonna do. Once it's safe for us to gather in groups of more than 10. Because I don't know about you, but 10 people is not Pride for me. Pride celebration is a lot of people. Anything else?
That's the last question that's been submitted.
Okay. Please, if you're on, send more questions.
Paul wants to know what's for dinner.
What's for dinner? I don't know, Paul. My address is you can mail it here if you want. I don't know. We haven't. Funny enough, my eating has been off since making this decision. Just sleep and food. This has been extremely stressful, extremely sad. For the past couple of weeks, like in doing this. Yeah. But
So
I don't
Kenny,
know. I haven't even thought that far.
We have a question from Christopher again. Has CBE encouraged other Black Pride organizers, Cree or CJ, has DP organized to not host their respective prides considering their talks this epidemic is anticipated to be present into the summer? Basically, are we using our influence to influence other prides to cancel or postpone?
Well, I won't say we're using our power to influence, because we can't tell people what to do, but we are having meetings with the other Pride organizers to discuss contingency plans and options. Actually, right after this, we're going to have a call with all the Pride leaders to really just inform and have a general conversation about what Black Pride is going to look like around the world. There's some information circulating about all the prides that have already canceled and or postponed their Pride events. So we are in conversation with other prides around the world right now to provide suggestions and support in what they choose to do.
We do have Dalen has another question.
Of course he does.
How has the team been adjusting to the current guidelines? Is everyone okay and keeping up with all the aspects of their health? We can't lose you guys to anything.
Thank you. Thank you for the Dalen. We are all at home. We all have been at home. Thank you to Zoom. We've been able to communicate and see each other. This has been quite interesting. Moving from a space where we see each other all the time to only seeing each other online. But we're all safe, we're all healthy, and we're just pushing through this and trying to make the best decisions. Just to make best decisions for us and our communities. Thank you for that. We don't want to lose any of you either. I saw something about salmon with white wine going on. What's going on, Paul? Do you have any other questions?
No other questions at the moment.
So we'll hang on for a while if anyone jumps on. We are taking questions as they come. Yeah. Thank you all for your questions so far. I'm hoping, our hope was to be able to answer some of these questions that folks had that wasn't answered in the press release. There's also 2 articles out, excuse me, where we did talk in more detail about some things. One in Metro Weekly and one in the Washington Blade, where we were able to really talk a little bit more about what's going on.
CJ has a question.
Yes.
And Earl, this is probably more for you, Earl. It's so we're not completely through this epidemic and an organizer chooses to host their respective pride. Will CBE take measures to address it so it doesn't fall back on CBE?
Well, the only pride that Black Pride we're actually responsible for is DC Black Pride. The rest of the Black Prides are members of the CBE and they're therefore freestanding organizations. We're having a call as Kenya said, we're having a call to discuss with the Black Pride what's going on in the respective cities. A number of them are going to be announcing that they're going to cancel their prides this year or postpone them. Most Black Prides take place after July 4th. Only a handful take place beforehand. So most of those are probably not going to happen. That includes Philadelphia, Houston, us, and maybe Chicago and LA. But the rest of the prides fall in July and August and September and October. And we have to, it really depends on what their community health department and their civil government leaders say. They control the amount of people that are coming together. And if they say that, we have to shelter in place and practice social distancing, then that's going to impact the prides as well. I can assure you that in my discussions with many of the pride leaders, we're all concerned about our community, and every decision will be based on the health outcomes of our community. We're not going to, if one person comes to one of our pride events and contracts COVID-19 and dies, it doesn't make it worth any of the pride taking place. We just can't do it. And everyone is in the same line. We're all agonizing. We're all listening to our health departments. We're all trying to hope for the best, but understand that we have to anticipate the worst outcomes, and that will be that more people are going to contract this pandemic, this virus, and more people are going to die, unfortunately. And unfortunately, there's been so much misinformation on social media about Black folks and queer folks not coming down with this virus. And I know too many people who have friends who are passed away of COVID-19 who are gay and lesbian, bisexual, and transgender. People are dying. Our community people are dying, and we're not talking about it, but it's still happening. And so that's the environment that we'll be making, our prides will be making their decisions on.
Thank you for that, Earl. Any questions? See?
Yeah. Audrey Adams asked, you mentioned volunteering. What can a person do to volunteer? So Janice, this may be you.
Janice, right, this is right your alley. Oh, let me unmute you. I'll unmute you. I got you. Hold on. There you go.
Well, to sign up for volunteering, you can simply go to dcblackpride.org and sign up. Right now, as of today, I have no activities for us that are scheduled to happen. But once we get things rolling and we're able to all get together and do what we do, like the happy hours once a month, that may continue. I'm not sure once this is over with, then we'll be gathering there. But I do communicate with my volunteers via GroupMe. So if you were to sign up, then I will be able to tell you more, because I will know more once time goes on the activities that we will be having. So right now it's just volunteer, tell me what you can do. We'll have a conversation. And then once, like I said, we know what we're going to be doing, I can tell you what we're going to do.
I'd just like to add on, like right now, unfortunately, we're in a space of, I don't know. We just don't know what tomorrow's going to have for us. And it's hard to plan out anything or any activities or any involvement, which is scary in itself, right? Not knowing what tomorrow is going to seem like. Every day when you turn on the news, there's something new happening. That's part of the reason why we decided to cancel instead of postpone, because this thing is constantly going and going and going. We just don't know. We're just in a state of I don't know. Thank you for your question. See?
Dalen is back with a question. Given your public health role, are you guys getting any newer information about COVID-19 in regards to our community specifically?
As of right now, what I would say regarding COVID-19 information, what I would say to is visit coronavirus.dc.gov for the latest information. It is updated daily with stats, numbers, etc. I know there's a push for some demographic information as far as people being of testing, etc. But that's above me. As far as I know, just our community is impacted. And if you're a nerd like me and follow some epidemics, our community, there's a strong chance our community is going to be severely impacted by this virus. But for the latest information, visit coronavirus.dc.gov.
Great. We have Ben has joined us, and Ben has a question. Will we receive a refund if VIP passes were purchased?
So we do not sell the passes. In order for you to receive a refund, etc., for your pass, you have to contact the promoter directly that you purchased the pass from, and they will negotiate refunds for you. Excuse me. Unfortunately, we don't handle the money or anything like that. Our agreement is really just saying, hey, this is a party we support and so you should go to if you want to go. But as far as the refunds, etc., excuse me. No, we really have no input on that, fortunately. Anything else?
Have one statement. Can we let everyone know, asking those questions of Unleash DC, that they are honoring refund and offering credits? Should we decide to host Pride event type events later in the year? So basically, our friends at Unleashed are saying they were honoring refunds or credits to their future events, which is very nice about wonderful ladies over at Unleashed.
I was about to say, thank you so much. That is how you do this, right? That's how you do this. This is a community thing, right? And if community, no other way, right? Like, we're not canceling it because we want to. We're canceling it because we have to. And understanding, again, the financial impacts on people that have it. Some people might need that money back from their passes to buy groceries, to buy a meal. So it'd be very unfair for us to hold their, or not us, but for, to hold their money hostage. So I appreciate that, Unleash DC, for really honoring people's refunds and understanding and working with us in this pandemic. Thank you.
This is a statement, not really a question. Ben added that he said he's reached out to Daryl, but no answer from the promoter. He's getting in runaround. Any suggestions of things for him to do? Because he doesn't want a credit. He just wants a refund of his funds.
Did he purchase it by credit card?
I would say email. Keep in contact with your financial institution. Email, call him. Facebook, reach out to the promoters any way you can. I just saw the popular say cash was used. You have to keep on calling him. I'm unfortunately, I don't have access to his funds or control over how said promoter will handle handles refunds. As you can see, Unleashed has agreed to honor refunds and credits. And I would hope, if you communicate with Daryl, you might receive something similar. Thank you.
Thank you. We don't have any other questions. I'm looking at both sides. Our friends are helping Ben out with some suggestions on how to get his refund, which is great. This is what our community does. We help each other out.
This is what our community does. Help each other out. Yes, absolutely. This is community, right? This is community. Thank you all for joining and being so interactive of this as well. This is our first time doing something like this on the DC Black Pride. So thank you all for being so interactive and so, well spirited.
Yes.
In the face of something that's kind of sad. It's thank you all. Y'all are making this a lot easier. Have anything else online?
No, I don't see any others. Nothing yet.
Nothing then? Hope everyone is staying safe. Yeah, if there is a need for any kind of resources, you can always reach out to us and we'll try our best to link you up with something. I'm currently working with a couple groups to create a resource for the Black and Brown Black and Brown queer community for resources in response to COVID-19. Once that's developed, we would definitely share it on all of our social media outlets and our website, etc. I'm just trying to kill time for more questions. Yes, Janice, well, I see you raising your hand. Hold on, I'll mute you. Not yet. Hold on, Janice. There you go, Janice.
Muriel Bowser just called me and said stay home.
She called you and said stay home?
Yes. Denise, I got that same message too.
I
Everybody
got that message too.
stay home.
Yeah, that's what the call. I just got mine as well. Funny enough, I was actually in a call with her office right before this one and said stay home. Stay home. Any other questions, comments, concerns, feelings? I want to give you guys a full hour, but I don't want to have you just staring at us.
Dalen has a question. And will this year's theme carry over into next year?
Thank you, Dalen. We haven't officially made that decision yet. This is all pretty fresh. We haven't made a decision yet. I think we probably will carry it over, but we might do a tweaking of it to make it relevant for carrying over. But we haven't gotten to the space where we can think of themes yet. As a group, we haven't even talked about it, have we? We haven't even talked about a theme yet. So, yeah.
Ben has a suggestion. I recommend that you open the lines so that some journalists that are not able to use Zoom or Facebook could ask questions. I think he's saying audio if there are folks, so maybe we should open it up to see if we can give people the opportunity who are using, like just calling in to actually ask questions.
Let me take a look and see how many people we have on the phone line. We only have 2. So I can definitely unmute both of those lines and give you a few seconds if you'd like to have any questions. So I'm going to mute line with the phone number ending 2677. You're on mute. I'm trying to unmute you. There you go. Line 2677. Do you have any questions? Phone number ending 2677. Any questions? All right, put you back on mute. I'm going to the next line. Phone number ending in 2530. Do you have any questions? Oh, no, we put you back on mute. Okay, I'm going to take that as a no.
Hello?
Hello.
This is Ben Watson. Thanks for taking my suggestion, unmuting the lines so that we could. It took me a while you were having a meeting. I've been on it before it started, and then I had to download Zoom and Facebook and everything to get in, but I had been on the call the entire time. So just first and foremost, just thank you for taking, and the committee, Denise Chambers, Mr. Hawkins, Shannon, Kenya, Earl, thank you guys for having this call for the community. I am actually a resident of Houston, Texas, and I had the opportunity to visit and attend DC Black Pride last year for the first time. Had an awesome and amazing time. I was so proactive this year on going. I purchased airline tickets, hotels, the Renaissance Hotel, also 4 VIP passes for myself and 3 other friends. I paid for it in advance because I wanted to go that bad again. So since we got the announcement of the COVID-19 and the pandemic we're having, not just in the United States, but around the world, we had to cancel everything. But like I mentioned in my other question, I did reach out to the promoter, Daryl Wilson, several times. And I also sent an email to Kenya and the other gentleman that's on one of the emails for the committee, and I didn't get any response. And I thank everyone that was on the line, saying I can probably go through my bank because I did pay via my debit card, so it came out of my checking account, $430, and it's just been a run around to get that or get that refund back. So I am an employee of Chase, JP Morgan Chase, and I'll go through them to try to get it back. But I once again just wanted to thank you guys for having this meeting, because I didn't know if I needed to seek legal counsel or what, because I just keep getting the runaround. Daryl Wilson did reach back out to me, the promoter, for the VIP passes, but he mentioned more so of just using the passes for next year. You'll be honored for those passes next year, but that's why I proposed the question, what if you are not able to attend next year? What if you don't want to have them used for another event that he promotes? Can you just get a refund? And I still hadn't heard anything, so that's why I wanted to just propose that question and put that out there. But thank you guys for listening. I don't want to take up too much time.
No problem. No, thank you. Thank you for your
Thank
question. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for your question. Thank you for that. Like I said, unfortunately, we don't have control over that. I would just encourage you to keep in constant contact with that promoter to figure out, the best route to have this resolved. Those are only 2 phone lines that we had. Any other questions popped up?
No, no other questions. Audrey asked what the theme was, and I shared it's revolutionary origin of a movement for change.
Yeah. All right, so we have about 5 more minutes before we close out. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please send them to us, whether on Facebook or on Zoom. Also, we've all been diligently checking our emails, and I'll see my email here on the line. It's k.hutton@centerforblackequity.org. And anyone else want to share their email?
I'm putting in the general address in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you. So if there's no question over, I see that little box lighting up. Oh, that's you, see.
That's me.
Oh, I see a question. I wonder how we can have more of a voice presence at Capitol Pride. I tried to do an event, and some was back in the business center their attorney yesterday. We are working with Capitol Pride to making sure that there is more of a voice within the Capitol Pride event. We can talk offline, Zakira, about how that might look this year. Feel free to shoot me an email or send an email to the general email that you just put in the chat box. And then we can have a conversation.
We have a Facebook question. Joseph asks, will there be a chance for any official pop-up parties if the city reopens?
Yes. As I said earlier, once it becomes safe, not just when it opens, right? We got to keep that in mind. Just because it opens doesn't mean it's safe for us to gather in large crowds yet, right? When it's safe for us to gather in large crowds, we do hope to have a party, a celebration almost, not even a party, a celebration of us making it through it. I can go down a list of things we've been able to celebrate. But I am working with some promoters and other entities on possibly hosting a large-scale celebratory event once we make it through this pandemic.
Great. No other questions have come through yet.
No other questions? Now, if after this you have a question or someone is watching this and questions pop up, send questions to the email address cbe@centerforblack.equity.org, or you can send your comments right in through on Facebook. We do man that Facebook every day. You're very welcome, Zakira. We monitor that Facebook page every day, so please submit your questions. If you have any other questions, just let us know. And you're right, we will get through this together. It's gonna take a community to work together, have one voice, and support each other however we can. And we'll get through this, just like we have. Our community is super resilient. Historically, we've gotten through so much and always come out on top. This is just another thing that we will rise to the top of again. So if that's all for everybody, we will get through this. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you.
I have a question of who's managing Baltimore Black Pride? Or you might know the answer to that question.
Yeah, Earl.
Yeah, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Send an email with making a request, and I'll forward his contact to you. Whoever's asking. I can't think of the person's name off the top of my head.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. And like we said, we are still taking questions. Email or Facebook is the best way to get in touch with us. If you shoot us an email or a message on Facebook, we will forward it around and get it back, get you an answer. So again, thank you all for joining us for this chat. You know, we wanted to be transparent, so thank you all for joining us for this. And hopefully we'll be able to celebrate and see you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Paul, I'm still waiting on my plate.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.